Hi guys, this is Tushar from India today. Welcome to the show. I quickly want to start the conversation by letting you guys know that the show is a huge hit in India. And I think one of the reasons why it resonates with all of us is because of the family culture and the family values that the show has. Uh, Rachel, I want to start with you and ask you, when was the first time you realized that the show is such a global phenomenon? It really cuts across ages, gender, sexuality, race, religion, all of it, right? When did you realize that first?
It's interesting that you say that because I think India was a huge part of it. I really started to notice that I had a lot of new Indian fans interacting on social media and talking about, I think, especially the fashion of the show and how much they loved it. And I don't think I had been a part of something that had quite been that far reaching before. It was so exciting. You never know. You make something in such a bubble and you can be so proud of it and never know if it'll have that kind of reach. But it's just continued to grow. And especially during the last couple of years when everyone's been inside, I think there was a new opportunity to find an even bigger audience. But you're totally right. I think there's something in the show for everyone, whether you're inspired by the idea of a woman finding her voice in a brand new way, or the parents who are rediscovering themselves and their own journeys, whether you love the fashion or the cinematography, or someone like Susie, who's a bulldog and who's been a survivor for such a long time. Feels like there's something in this show for everyone. And it's nice to feel like we're not just feeling that alone, that other people feel that way too.
It's funny because
Absolutely.
my Indian friends, we always we use the term Hind Jew, that there is a Jewish Indian connection, that it is this familial, the same pressures, the same cultural expectations, just this very heavy hand put on education, very heavy hand put on family and children, and almost arranging marriages in some way and wanting to find a family within, there's such similarities that I'm not that surprised that it's a huge hit in India.
Absolutely. And Alex, I was talking to Kevin and Tony a while back, and they spoke to me about how characters and actors play off each other's energy a lot on the show, given the fact that, you guys have spent so much time together. I want to speak to you about that. If I take you back in time to the first reading or the narration for the show in season 1 to where we are right now discussing season 4, how has that evolved for you, Alex, just with you and Rachel together? What did you get to know about Rachel as a person today that you didn't know before?
Well, what's nice, just let me speak to that. What's nice is that it evolves as the characters evolve. I didn't know Rachel before doing this show. We were thrown into a room together and did a chemistry test. We did a reading together, and I didn't know her personally, which was good because Susie and Midge didn't know each other and had to learn each other. And it's like a first date and then getting to know someone. And so I'm so glad actually that this wasn't cast with someone I'd known for years. And there's a believability to us having awkwardness at first and learning to work with each other and what works and what doesn't work. And I think, with Rachel, I've learned that she's kind of capable of anything, that she's much like the character, just will kind of like step into it and go, okay, I think I can do that, so I'll do it. We saw her do that with radio. We've seen her bite off more than she can chew, and she's always able to. Maybe it takes more bites. Maybe she has to chug some water, but she can chew it and she can get it down. She can do it.
Rachel, you want to add to that? This process truly is so beautiful. The fact that you guys didn't know each other, and now when we see you together, it just feels like you've known each other for years. That's the beauty of it, right?
It's been, I mean, I echo everything that Alex said. It's been really cool. And I do remember even that very first chemistry read. Those things are so awkward. You're wearing your own clothes. You're like walking around a room that's basically the size of this Zoom box and trying to say lines that you're not totally off book for. But even then, it did feel like, Alex and I are so different in most ways. But I think as both actors and also as these characters, there's a piece of us that deeply understands the other, and we sort of like have found a way to complete each other. And it's been a really, really cool journey of excavating that part of these characters, and also just getting to know each other and what makes us tick. It's such an intimate relationship that you have with, and something that you find intimacy in right away, but what a gift to build a relationship like this over so much time. You're so vulnerable when you're on camera, and the like deep trust and respect that's only built over time has been one of the best parts of being on the show.
Yeah, and that truly transcends through the camera. I think that's one of the reasons why we are so invested in each and every character for the show. We really want to see what happens next with them. I quickly want to speak to you about the fact that, there is this whole noise about the cancel culture, and there is this whole woke culture and social media, especially in today's day and time, it's easier. Your character, and in fact, the show deals with that even in the 50s and the 60s. Before there was Twitter and Instagram, the concept still did exist, right? Did you resonate or relate to that at all when you were sitting in and doing these roles and characters?
That's so interesting. I guess we really only navigate the feeling of cancel culture or that whatever that means in this space at the end of the third season and sort of into this one. They're dealing with it in a much less technologically savvy way. They're reading about, there's many scenes where they're reading about the perception of them in a newspaper and hearing it for the first time and realizing that because there's only a handful of ways you get your information, the sheer volume of people who will have read that exact same paper could have huge consequences for both of their careers. And at the same time, in this particular scenario, Midge did something horrible that she didn't realize what the consequences could be. But she firmly believes that Reggie at the end of the season told her to talk about Shai, and that's what she went out there and did. But it could have had really devastating consequences for him, and they're going to have to navigate that in this season. You'll see how they do, for better and for worse.
I think the lesson carries into season 4 in that the biggest thing Midge has to learn is not just what you're putting out, but how you're perceived. That perception is 90% of making it. And I think that's part of how, she wants to plan to change this business is it's not just what I put out there and what my material is, it's where I'm saying it and how I'm saying it and perception. And that's kind of their goal, is to control the story, basically, to control her own perception and her personage, what she's putting out there.
Yeah, she wants to take back the narrative.
Yeah, I think that's something you need to wrap your head around, and that's such a cool concept in itself because it does sort of play out in its own way, and it feels very organic. So I think that's great. My last and final question to both of you is one that Indian fans have basically come up with is, would you guys ever be open to a collaboration for a Bollywood film or a Bollywood project? And would we ever get to see you in India?
In a heartbeat.
That would be a dream tenfold. Yes.
In a heartbeat. I don't think I could do it, but I would trying.
I think we're going to hold you to that, and we're putting it out in the universe. Song and dance. Here you girls come.
Make it
all
so.
Yours. The stage is yours.
Please, we're ready. We were born ready.
On that note, thank you so much for speaking to India today. This was a true pleasure. Thank you so much.